Hey guys, this is George from ergonomictrends.com, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to easily fix a squeaky office chair. So it just happens that I'm sitting on a chair now that's squeaky quite a lot. So this is a good time to demonstrate how you go about fixing the issue. There's usually two reasons why an office chair will squeak. One is due to rust over time. The parts such as the cylinder and the armrest, or the connection between the backrest and the seat. Another reason is if the bolts were not assembled properly when you put it in the first place. Either way, I'm going to go about showing you how to fix a squeaky office chair. So let's go. A good place to start is to first maybe identify roughly where the squeaking is coming from. You can do this by either sitting on the chair, reclining it, and having a friend kind of observe by going under to try to listen and gauge where the squeaking is coming from, or you can even do it by yourself. So I'm going to sit on a chair now, and if you listen, you can see that the squeaking is already happening. If I go up and down, I could trigger the squeaky. So that tells me that the squeaking is probably occurring from the seat or the cylinder that's holding up the seat. Other points you want to check are the armrests. Try to pull it back, see if they're making any squeaky noise. In this case, no. Another common point that will squeak is the connection between the backrest and the seat. So if I push it back, there's no squeaky. So that just tells me that the issue here is mainly occurring somewhere in the seat itself. So when I do turn this chair over, I could focus all my efforts on just the seat instead of the armrest or the backrest, the connection to the backrest. So once we have a rough idea where the squeaking is coming from, the next step is to work on the issue. And usually that involves turning the seat upside down to reveal the cylinder underneath. There's two ways to turn this chair over. In an office chair that has a backrest that reclines all the way to almost a flat position, I find it pretty easy to just recline the backrest and then flip this chair over onto the floor. I'll show you right now. So first I'm going to recline this backrest all the way. And then once it's flattened, turn this chair over like so. And now I can work on whatever I need to work on here. If your backrest doesn't recline to a flat position, what you could do is just put the seat on a high desk and let the backrest dangle off the floor. Either way, now the bottom of the chair is exposed and we can work on it. So now that I've got the office chair upside down, there's two things I'm going to do. First, I'm going to check all the bolts to make sure they're fastened completely and that there's no misalignment. And the second thing I'll be doing is applying lubricant to the areas of the chair where I feel like the squeaking is coming from. There's two solutions I really like. The best one, in my opinion, is WD-40. Most people are probably familiar with this. This is a general lubricant, and it even says among the uses, the first one is that it stops squeaks. It comes with a nice, really thin straw that lets you get into the nooks and crannies. But if you don't have the WD-40, I find, according to my friend, even sunflower oil works pretty well. So yeah, first I'm gonna go ahead and check the nuts and bolts to make sure they're fastened and properly. So this is the first thing I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be checking all the bolts to make sure they are completely fastened in. See, this one is a little bit loose. You also wanna make sure that the bolt is going straight 90 degrees down, that there's no misalignment. If you feel like it's misaligned, just unscrew it and put it back in again. This one is also loose, so already this could be the source of the squeaking, I'm not sure. 3 out of 3, they're all a little bit loose. This one is really loose actually. This one is really loose. I'll tighten this one. This one is loose as well actually, surprisingly. Oh man. So that's the thing with office chairs. after a while, maybe 3 to 6 months, you want to check that the bolts are still completely securely fastened, as they do tend to loosen over time. You're doing this one as well. So once we've checked all the nuts and bolts, the next step is to apply lubricant to the area of the chair where you feel the squeaking is coming from. Before you do that, you want to add some, lay out some tissue paper to protect the fabric areas of the chair. Actually, probably paper towels work better, but I'm actually out of paper towels, so I'm going to be using tissue paper. So you just do this to cover up any of the fabric part of the chair so that the oil doesn't get to the fabric and stain it. Now my weapon of choice is the WD-40 here. And it has this really tiny straw, which is awesome. And so in my earlier diagnosis, I figured that the squeaking is coming from the cylinder here. So then naturally what I want to do is get this lubricant into the nooks and crannies of the cylinder to lubricate it, to hopefully fix the squeaking. So I'm going to be doing this right now. It's going to be spraying a little bit in here. Going around here as well. And you just want the oil to slowly drip down all the way to the bottom of the cylinder. And I find that's usually where the squeaky comes from, is from the cylinder. So up here, squeak some down this opening. And when you're almost done, use some tissue and just spread the oil all around the cylinder here to lube up this entire exposed area. And that's it. Hopefully that does the trick. I'm going to turn this chair over now and see. So I'm back after tightening the bolts underneath the seat and lubricating the cylinder. And I'm happy to say the squeaking is about 90% gone. If I press on the seat now, there's no squeaking, maybe just a tiny bit. Like there's still a little bit of squeaking, but it's a lot better, much improved. So I would say in my case, it was both the tightening the bolts and applying the lubrication that made the difference. The bolts on this chair seem to come loose a little bit quicker, sooner than other chairs. So it's important to just tighten them every once in a while. So yeah, now I'm pretty happy. The squeaking, like I said, is 80% gone. So that's good enough for me.